Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. This is our first episode on my YouTube channel, Survivor Empower Life Coach Financial. And this YouTube channel is about self advocate, self preservation, self love, self care, leveling up and bringing that energy all the way up, even when you're down. And my name is Alicia Brown, and I'm the CEO of Survivor Empower Life Coach Financial. I'm a certified life coach. I have a podcast called Self Discovery, and you can find me on social media. But enough about me. I'm going to give the platform to my guest. You can see her, she's beautiful. I'm going to let her tell you all about herself. Go ahead, Missy. Pronounce your name.
Hello, hello, hello. Peace and blessings, everyone. My name is Takara, aka Queen Lovely. Um,
Ah,
um, I am a healing conversationalist. I am a motivator. I am currently working on my vegan lipstick line called
woo.
Opulent Rebel. It speaks so much to my personality. I'm luxurious and I'm a little bad. That's where the rebel part comes in. But I just love empowerment. I love, you know, speaking with like-minded individuals that are, on the same journey that I'm on with healing and leveling up. It's like, we've been through things in life. We've always been in survival mode. How do we get to the point where we just start living
Yes.
and living this life to the fullest? So that's what I'm all about.
Yes. So, as she stated, she's a conversational. So, we're going to conversate tonight. We're going to talk about a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So, I interview on my podcast, and we're not going to get into that area too much, but you are a survivor of domestic violence. So, we're going to talk about the energy because, damn, looking at you, I wouldn't think you were, I didn't think you were, I didn't think, what you tell me, you weren't into that nonsense, So tell me, how did you get yourself to the level where you are? How did you navigate the world to advocate for yourself and bring that energy? Because I can feel it.
Um, it took a lot of prayer. It took a lot of soul searching. It took a lot of I wanted to heal because I refused to be a victim of my past. I refused to be a victim of my circumstances. And I remembered who I was and I changed the game.
Yes.
So, going from there to where I am now, like I wouldn't change anything.
Yes. Yes. I like that. And, as we talk about self advocate and self preservation, I speak to the fact that we do that on a day to day basis and don't even know about it. Because when you go to work to get a raise, that requires you got to want that raise. And when you really want that raise, you're going to advocate for yourself. And that's self-preservation because you connect that raise to your quality of life.
Absolutely.
And as African American women, I know sometime in the workforce, not sometime, but I'm gonna be modest. Sometime we get a little shafted. I'm gonna be
Yes, we
modest.
do. Yes, we do.
And
Yes, we do.
but we gotta talk about whether you're African American woman, man, or even Caucasian person, at some point in time, you got to advocate for yourself.
Absolutely.
And to advocate for yourself, you have to find a need. There has to be a need connected to that. Because if you want this over there, your self preservation say, I need to pay that bill. I need to get my education. These things require funds. And you have a choice either sit back and cry or hustle. And sometime in hustling, you realize, I need a better job. I need more money. I need to change job. And that's where the self advocate comes in. We don't realize it's a conscious thought. It's an intentional move to uplift yourself. And what do you tell people out there who have been through something traumatic? How do they get to the point where they can say, I love myself? Because I got a few thoughts, but I want to hear from you. How do you tell somebody to love themselves and move forward and give themselves that praise, that energy to get up every day and make a difference for themselves and for whoever else around them?
I would say sometimes you have to go through it. You have to feel that pain. Like it has to hurt you.
Mm,
Your pain has to get greater than the pleasure.
mm,
And you let that pain catapult you and literally birth a beast,
mm.
not in a bad way,
I
a
know.
beast, to know that, listen, no, I'm not going to settle for less. No, I'm not going to allow this to happen to me. No, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. Like
Mhm.
you have to grow through what you go through. And
Mm,
you have to look at those experiences and say and realize in life, like, there are polarities. You
mhm,
have good and you have bad. You
mhm,
have cause and effect.
mhm.
So in those situations, you take them and say, "Hey, listen, this is a negative thing that happened to me, but guess what? I'm gonna turn it around and I'm gonna use it for my greater good. I'm gonna use it to make a positive." And I was having a conversation with my mother earlier. I dealt with a situation this morning,
Yeah.
and it disturbed my soul, and it almost took me back to where I was previously. And I had to stop and tell myself, wait a second. If you revert back to the old you, what is the point of change?
Yes.
What is so every basically all of the work that you've done is
Mhm.
going to be for nothing if
Mm.
you allow for a situation to take you back. And I had to think about that for a second. I'm like, wait a minute, Takara, like, uh-uh. You don't lower your frequency. You bring them up to your frequency.
Yes.
You teach people how to treat you. You
Mhm.
have to. You have to. When you love yourself to a point where like you sitting so high, the people around you, the people that you develop relationships with, be it intimate, be it mother and daughter,
Yeah.
uh, mother and son, father and daughter, sister and brother, however it is, you teach people how to treat you and how to love you by the level that you love yourself.
Yes.
When you're operating on a high frequency,
Mhm.
you attract high frequency things.
Yes, you do.
But when you're low and you thinking, of yourself and oh, why is all this bad stuff happening to me? And when we realize that in life, things don't happen to us, they happen for us.
Mhm.
Either you're gonna be better or you're gonna be bitter.
Mhm.
What like it's up to you to choose and decide and say, hey, listen, I'm gonna walk into my queendom. I'm gonna walk into my kingdom, and I'm gonna let you know that, listen, this is who I am. I know who I am, and I know whose I am.
Oh, yes. Amen. Amen. And I agree with you 100% because a lot of times people come in a space and they unconsciously feel they don't belong there. And when you walk in that space uncertain, you're not sure of yourself, feel like you're an imposter, feel like you don't belong there. Your energy level, as those each word come out, your energy level keep going lower and lower and lower. And by the time you get to that front door of that room, your shoulder done slouch, your head done dropped.
Mm-hmm.
And when you come in, no one notices you. They don't
Mm-hmm.
see you. You're actually invisible.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell people, whatever decision you make, Take pride in it.
Absolutely.
Be accountable. You made that choice. Own it.
Yes.
Walk in that space. The first thing people are going to see, you don't have to say anything, but when you walk in a space and you say to yourself, I don't know what's in that room, but I'm going in that room and I belong in that room. Just owning that you're going to go in there and you're going to investigate. It ain't about you knowing everything or knowing everyone. Just the fact that you know that you're going in there and you're going to find out what's in there that can benefit you. But you come there with the attitude that I'm going to make this situation work for me. I belong in that space just like everyone else. And when you open that door, your shoulder is firm, your head stand, and people see you. Mm-hmm. And that energy vibrate out.
Yes.
Sometime you ever feel somebody walk by you, but you haven't seen them, but you feel them? Not that you heard them, but you felt the energy walk by. Absolutely. I'm saying they're all good or bad, but but you felt the energy.
Absolutely.
Same thing when you walk in that room and you let people know you own that space. People automatically would turn around and they're ready to hear what you have to say.
Absolutely. Your energy introduces you before you even enter a room, before you even open your mouth and speak your name. Your energy introduces you. And then after that, the most powerful words to say is, I am. I am Takara. I am Alicia. This is who I am. Those are two very powerful words.
Yes, they are.
When introducing yourself, not I'm, but I am. And like you said, your energy introduces you before you even step into the room.
Yes. And people respect you. I'm telling you, people, and one thing people get confused with, a person don't have to like or love you to respect you.
Absolutely.
And people don't understand that. It's not about making friends. It's about being your authentic self in the most positive way. Because sometimes our authentic self for some people is not the best. So we're talking about authentic self where you can pull in the right people, where you can get result. You have to be authentic in a positive way. And when I say positive, as human being, we don't always up here. Sometimes we go down there. And I tell people, my teaching as a life coach, just 7 levels of energy. Level 1 is the lowest. Level high, no one lives there, but they visit. It's the same thing with level 1. Level 1 energy is depression, self-doubt, nastiness. But guess what? Level 2, you're getting better. But the point that we fluctuate between these energy. And I tell people, it's okay to be mad. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be annoyed. To be human, we have feelings. Acknowledge it. Visit those levels of energy, but don't live there.
Yes, that's the key. That's the key, Queen. Do not live there.
Visit.
Acknowledge it.
Yes.
Acknowledge it. Accept it for what it is. And you hold the power to change that. Don't live there.
Yeah.
My grandmother used to always say, it's not what they call you, but it's what you answer to. And you have to know that if you choose for your latter to be greater than your past, it shall be.
Yes, of course.
It shall be.
Yes. Yes.
So you have to hone in on that power and say, okay, hey, when I was here, how did it make me feel? What traumas, whatever I've been through in life, what happened? What caused me to be there at that moment?
Yes.
And you acknowledge it. You deal with it. You accept it. You conquer. You kick its butt. And you move on. That's how you level up.
Yes.
Because if we hold on to the things that hold on to us, we'll never reach the heights that we're trying to get to.
Yeah, it's too much weight. It's a lot of weight to hold on to negativity. And people don't realize that negativity gets you sick internally, emotionally, mentally, and physically.
Physically, yep.
When you are depressed And that's a low energy level. That's a low vibration. When you are taking on all these other things that's going on outside, unnecessary stress and drama in your life, you're making yourself sick. You're creating havoc on your body. And you have to let it go. You have to peel it off layer by layer. And people need to realize what you are yesterday, you don't have to be today, and you're definitely growing tomorrow. And I'm gonna give an example in my younger days. In my younger days, I used to get mad real quick. When somebody did something to me, I'd be pissed off. And if let me see you smiling after I'm mad at you. Makes me mad. Like, how dare you be in a good mood when I'm pissed off? You need to be suffering like me. And I talked to myself and I thought, okay, I got to get it together. I got to get it together. And I finally got to the age where I said, Alicia, when you walk around mad like this and they're happy, what are you gaining? How does it make you feel? Or what have you accomplished? How did that benefit you? And it didn't benefit me, but it sure as hell benefit that person over there because they smiling. And I said, okay, Alicia, you gotta fix this. You gotta get it together. And I would try and it didn't work. Then finally, one day it finally hit me. I got this job. And this gentleman was an older man. And every month, he was supposed to do this report. And every month I had to ask him, and guess what? He never did it. And he would smile about it. Oh, I didn't do it. And I'd be like, I thought, okay, Alicia, don't go back to your dirty ways. So I would send an email to our boss, didn't do it, then I would have to do the work. And every month we did the cycle. I thought after a while, Alicia, you can't fire him. You can't make him do it because you don't control him. The only thing you control is yourself. This need to get done with his help or without his help. So you better make a choice because carrying any burden don't help. So I decided every month, something, I'm going to send an email out, just proper protocol, but I'm going to pull the information myself and do the damn work. And me and this guy became friends because it was too much energy. It requires so much work every month. The anticipation of, here we go again. It wasn't worth it. And I realized, Alicia, I'm developing all this stress and anxiety for someone who don't even care. He have no care in the world. He's walking around free and light, and I'm holding on to all this stuff. And the bottom line is that whether he give it to me or not, I still have to do the work. How much work did it require of me to get that information myself?
Right.
Not much. But the thing was that when I did it myself, I know the quality of the work was. The quality of the work that I did benefit me. And me and this gentleman became friends, long life friends. I did his tax for him. I did everything for him. And I realized, and the best result is this, we both applied for a job. And I got it. You know why? And he was there longer than me. Those issues we were having where no one really actually addressed. But I learned to work with him, create a nice cohesive environment, not a toxic environment, and just did the work. That personality, that Alicia, that energy level allow them to see a better person in me, and for me to also recognize I can do better. And people have to learn you don't have to continue to be the person you are if it's not working for you. You always have to stop and ask yourself, how did that serve me? Did that energy, did that attitude, did that serve me? And there's a difference between getting frustrated, getting irritated at the moment versus carrying a weight.
Yes.
Is carrying that. Yes. How did that benefit from it?
Yes.
Stop and think. If you didn't benefit, then why are you doing it?
Yes. You when I say you are speaking to me right now, it's literally a situation that I dealt with today.
Okay.
You are speaking to me right now. And I received this message because it's like, like I said, I was telling my mother earlier, I'm like, listen, allow me to reintroduce myself to you. You can't handle me the old way you handled me because that person is dead and gone. If you are if you are reacting in the manner that you did yesterday, or people are handling you in the manner that they did yesterday and the day before that and the day before that, sweetie, we evolve every single day.
Yes, we do.
Every single day. We're supposed to evolve. Some
Mm.
people don't. But when you examine yourself,
yes,
the old you is supposed to die every day. You're supposed to evolve every single day. So every day that you live, you are going to have to reintroduce yourself to people so that they can know, hey, listen, I may have reacted like this yesterday, but I'm not doing that today. We're not doing that today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to humble myself. And when you realize sometimes when you can't change the person
Mm-hmm.
or the situation, you got to change yourself. And that is why, that is something that me being in my domestic violence
Mm-hmm.
relationship with my ex-husband, that's what taught me. And it's to a point where I can pick up the phone
Mm-hmm.
and talk to him about my son if need be.
Mm-hmm.
Or he can pick up the phone and talk to me when there was a point in time where everything was chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
Everything, any interaction between he and I was toxic, and the police needed to be on standby.
Mm-hmm.
It was a time where he couldn't pick up the phone and even dial my number because he didn't know my telephone number.
Mm.
He couldn't come and get his son because he didn't know where we lived.
Mm.
He didn't know if we were still in the state of New York or not.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't know anything. But now, through growth and development, I don't allow for him to take me there. Now, when he picks up the phone and calls me, he don't even cuss.
Mm.
There are no curse words in our dialogue with each other. Where at a point in time, oh, it was terrible. We called each other everything but a child of God.
Mm.
So it's like I had to teach him how to treat me and how to handle me.
Yes.
I stopped fighting back and I started dealing with me. I started to change me. And when I changed me, that situation changed.
Yes. Yes.
I decided, okay, you know what? I'm not the person I was when I was 16.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 36 now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sorry to tell my age. No, I'm proud to tell my age, but that's 20 years. That's a 20-year span.
Mm-hmm.
So the way that I conducted myself and handled myself in 16, I no longer do at 36.
Mm-hmm.
The things that I accepted and I loved at 16 disgusts me at 36.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had to let things hurt me. I mean, when I tell you I had to let pain be greater than my pleasure,
Mm-hmm.
I had to gravitate to my pain and know like how that felt, and made me realize like I don't want to feel like this anymore. This is not like I don't want to feel like this anymore. I refuse to spend each of my precious moments being bitter. Yes. You know, my father used to tell me, when you bitter, it's just like peeing on down your own leg. Yeah. Don't nobody feel it but you.
Yeah.
People that you holding grudges against, oh baby, they sleeping well at night.
Yes, they are.
They sleeping peacefully.
Mm-hmm.
Like they sleeping on Egyptian cotton. They floating. They sleep, and you the one that's up late night with heart problems and can't sleep because you holding on to all that foolishness and you holding on to all that mess. and you can be free too.
Heartburn and everything too.
I'm telling you, heartburn, gas.
Yes. Oh my God. Tell me about it. I used to be, and I learned that from my daughter too. Oh my God, that child, she loved life. I have to say one thing about her. She enjoyed every age that she's been. She's the kind of child. She wants something. She's very persistent. She'll ask. You say no to her. No. She's like, okay, walk away.
Mm-hmm.
5 minutes later, okay. She changed the narrative and asked again another way.
Mm-hmm.
And she get in trouble. Within 10 minutes later, she back playing like none ever happened.
Mm-hmm.
I said, oh my God, this child, nothing fazed her. Do she get upset yet? But she doesn't. And this is from she was like 3 years old. This child don't hold on to anything.
Mm-hmm.
And, I look back at her, as I was making my change and my adjustment. I said, okay, I need to pick up some of her habits, even though she's little. And that go back to say, we always can learn from somebody.
Absolutely. We have to be willing to learn. We have to be open and receptive to learn.
Yes, we have to open that up. And sometime when we are ready to grow, we have to do a survey of our environment, people, place, and things. People, place, and things. Sometimes you need to love from a distance. Sometimes we need to change some habits, some behaviors.
Because nobody's perfect.
Yes. And sometimes we need to remove ourselves from a particular environment. People, place, and things. When you are ready to grow, you have to stop and do that survey and check out what your environment, the people in it, the things you do, how are they contributing to your growth?
Absolutely.
Are they growing with you, or are they stunning your growth?
Absolutely. I say that all the time. If it is not conducive to my growth as a woman, as a mother, as a daughter, as a sister, as a friend, I want no parts. I want no parts of it. If it's not conducive to my growth,
yes,
I want no parts. And I have no problem with blocking things. Oh. I will put you on the block list so quick. I will block because I don't have time for it. I've come too far to be stuck in my past.
Yes.
I don't live in my past. Something the majority of the people in my past, I don't even talk to.
Good.
For what?
Good.
You don't need to check up on me how I'm doing, because I don't care how you doing. And like we were in each other's life for a season. That season has passed now.
You have to.
And and I was having a conversation with my cousin the other day, because she's like, oh, it was a waste of time talking about a relationship. I said, no, sweetie, it wasn't it wasn't a waste of time if you learned something and if you took something from that relationship. No, it didn't turn out in the way that you wanted it to, but what did you learn after that relationship was all said and done? How did it teach you how to better love yourself?
Yes, and that's the important thing. People need to look at everything. People need to look at everything in their life and realize that everything is a lesson if you look at it in that way. You can look at it as a burden, or you can look at it as a blessing.
Yes.
And we have to realize that, I don't know what you believe in, spiritual, God, whatever you believe in, but everything that comes our way is meant to teach us something.
Absolutely.
And we have to take that opportunity to learn, to understand it, because each experience is growth. Yes. And we learn something new about ourselves. As human, we're very complicated, but really not that complicated. We are complicated. I can't get that word. Complicated, difficult, because we don't take the time to understand ourselves. We don't allow ourselves the empathy and the patience that we need to really understand who we are.
Right. And it's important to give yourself grace. You
Mm-hmm.
have, like, on this journey,
Mm-hmm.
when I like on this journey of healing, you have to give yourself grace. You're gonna make so many mistakes while you're relearn. Sometimes you gotta relearn yourself. You
Yes.
gotta reintroduce you to you.
Yes.
But give yourself grace.
Yes, we don't do that. We take ourselves for granted. We'll sit there and tell somebody, "Oh, don't worry, it wasn't your fault." Blah 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 blah. And then when it comes to ourselves, damn, why? Mm-mm-mm-mm.
Mm,
Be hard on ourselves, but we have to step back and say the same thing to ourselves. Listener, you okay?
right.
See it coming, but that's all right. What did you get out of it? Okay,
Right.
you're gonna look at that sideway this time. You're gonna check that corner next time. You know,
Right.
what you do next to prepare yourself, because believe me, whatever happened today will happen tomorrow, but with a different face. Life
Absolutely.
is repetition. The only thing changed, and it varies each time. Next time might be a different person, a different face,
Mm-hmm.
but the same
Same script,
situation.
different cast.
Yes.
Until you get to that point
Mm-hmm.
that you want to grow, or until you learn that lesson, it's you're gonna repeat it.
Constantly over and over
You're
again.
gonna over and over and over again until you get it. You
Yeah.
know that, like, there's a song, by Erica Badu,
Mm-hmm.
that I was a teenager when it came out, and
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand it until I became an adult.
Okay.
And she goes and she's like, listen, peace and blessings manifest in every lesson learned. Peace and blessings manifest in every lesson learned. What are you taking out of, like, that lesson that you've experienced?
Mm-hmm.
What are you taking out of it? It's
Oh,
a blessing.
yeah.
There's always a blessing
Mm-hmm.
in every lesson.
Oh, of course. Oh, of course. Most definitely. A lot of people chalk it up. I win or lose. It's not about a win and lose. Yes, winning mean that I would hope for some people survival. You came out in one piece emotionally and mentally. You might be bruised up, but you're alive. That's the win and lose aspect. That's how I take it. But beyond that, what did you get out of it? And the thing is that person that was destructive in my life, and it doesn't have to be a significant other. It could be a friend.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes sleep on our enemy who appeared to be our friend.
There
And
you go.
we have to be awake and alert. And all these things about advocate, because when you advocate for yourself and you have the will to live and survive and strive, when you start having that thought of survival, then you start realizing what's hindering you, what's stopping you, what's in your way, what's your roadblock.
It
And
hits
sometimes
different.
you
It
don't
hits
want to admit
different.
to Susie over here, but yes, Susie is a roadblocker.
Mm-hmm.
Susie talks a good talk, but Susie is jealous. Susie has bad intention,
Mm-hmm.
and Susie got a problem. And when you got to advocate for yourself, something I turn and say, Susie, it's not working. You got to go.
Yep.
And that's your girl. She might have done a few things for you, but you need to stop and
Mm-hmm.
evaluate and say, mm-mm. And so we have to realize people are toxic because sometimes people focus on just the guys. No, toxicity comes in all shape and form.
There you go.
If you got grown kids, it could be your kids.
There you go. It could be your parents. It can be another family member. It
Yeah.
could, yes, absolutely.
And it could be the workplace.
Yep. And it can even be yourself.
Yes. Well, we are number one when it comes to our worst enemies,
Absolutely.
sabotage and self-destruct.
Absolutely. And because when you point the finger at other people, how many do you have pointing back at you?
Too many to count.
I'm telling you, you have to examine yourself. You
Yes.
got and my favorite saying is, listen, let me check myself before anyone else can check.
Thank you.
Even
Thank
even with
you.
my significant other. I'm like, listen, if it's something that I'm doing, make me aware of that so that I can check myself
Yes.
I can check myself. I don't have a problem with checking myself because one person that I have to live with with the rest of my life is myself. I
Yes.
have to like the person that I spend the most time with, and that's myself.
Yes.
I have to like that person.
And guess what? A lot of people don't like themselves. You ever
Mm.
hear people say, I don't like being home alone. Why? And they really can't say it. Well, I'm no fun. Huh?
You got to learn how to entertain yourself before you can be
Mhm.
entertained by someone else.
You don't want to be home by yourself. Why? Why? And you have to really push that question on them, like, why? Well, they've come up with all kind of excuses, but the real truth is that because I'm miserable.
Listen, oh honey, I love my alone time. Ooh, when I tell you that I am my very best friend, when I can spend my time in solitude, oh my goodness, I don't need to go out. I can stay at home. I play my music. I take my bubble bath.
See?
I drink my water. I like my incense and my candles. And if I feel like it, I have a glass of wine and I truly enjoy myself, my own company.
Thank God. And you know something, some people are on that journey today where they're at that energy one, that level, and they need to work their way up. And I'm telling you out there, it can be done. You truly have to stop and think about it. Self advocate, self preservation, the will to live, strive, survive. You have to realize the situation you're in currently is not serving you, it's not working for you, it's not advancing you. You are still in a toxic situation. And I don't mean necessarily an actual relationship, but toxicity around you within yourself. And when you are at that point where you want to get the out, then you will start thinking of a way. And that's where the self advocate come in. What do I need to do to make that change in my life?
Yeah.
Where do I need to go? Who do I need to speak to? And that's self advocate. Find somebody who's positive. Because there's so many people around that we take for granted. We might consider them corny at one point because they listen. Listening to people and talking to people is free. You can start there. There's so many
Absolutely.
people who are willing to listen and talk to you, but you have to inside realize that this is not working.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel good. It doesn't make me feel good inside, outside. It hurts everywhere. I'm not in a good place.
Yeah, everyone has that breaking point. And when you reach it,
Hmm.
you reach a new level of strength.
Hmm. And people, believe me, I have done it. Takara have done it. And listen, we ain't God. We're a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And we have been through some hard times. And but one thing we both have in common, we're survivors, and not because of domestic violence, but we are survivors because we decide to leave that negativity behind us
I'm
and move
telling you.
forward and go upward and continue to go upward. And
Come
people,
up to my frequency. Come on up. I'm not coming down. I'm not coming down to reach you. Come on up to my frequency.
yes, and I make room for friends. I make room for friends who realize once I've departed from them and left and move forward. If you have changed your mind and you want to do better in life, I extend my hand for you to come forward. I'm not going back, but I will extend my hand for you to come forward with me and take that journey to learn and understand what you need to do so you can go on your own journey.
Thank you.
And, people have to make room for that. Oh my God, I enjoyed this conversation, my dear.
Me as well. Me as well. Like it's refreshing
Yes.
to have a conversation with a like-minded,
Hmm.
queen as yourself because it's like, listen, we got to do the work. At the end of the day, no one is coming to save us. You have to save yourself.
Yes.
No one is coming to save you, sweetie.
Yes.
Your healing, that's on you.
Yes.
Your forgiveness, that's on you.
Yes.
You have to be the one to say, okay, you know what? I love me that I'm going to do better for me.
Yes.
How do you expect to, for the singles out there, how do you expect to find your mate if you're not secure with who you are?
Yes.
How can you expect for this person to come along and love you and be secure with you?
Yeah.
You're not even secure with you.
You're going to attract what you feel inside.
Absolutely.
You don't realize
You meet your reflection.
Yes, it
Yes.
comes out and it pulls in that same person. And one thing about it, I tell people all the time, when you really truly love yourself, you make good decisions for yourself because you are number one. And it's not being selfish. It's not being narcissist. There's a difference between narcissist and self-love. There is a big difference. There's a lot of behavior that comes into play that separate a narcissist from a person who loves themselves. So believe me, enjoy, relish, loving yourself. And that starts by looking at yourself in the mirror. So I'm going to wrap it up, and I want you to tell our audience what's some of your technique for self-love.
I'm big on affirmations. It's like I pour into myself. I always make time to do, self-care.
Yes.
Like my Sunday nights, like I have a whole ritual on how I pour into me. It's like my bubble baths.
Yes.
I poetry, music, different things like that. Like I have a whole playlist of love songs. And I'm not thinking about anyone in particular but myself. I sing those love songs to me.
Yes.
Like how I feel. So and just taking the time out I give myself grace, and I always self-examine myself. I'm always looking for ways and different things to make me better.
Yes. Yes.
So
and
that. just remember, like, we're not ever going back to where we came from.
No, we're not.
Like we're never going back there.
Yes.
The only way is up.
Yes, yes, yes. Y'all hear that? Take some lessons. I suggest for everyone, if you don't love yourself, go in the bathroom, get a hand mirror, wherever, but get a mirror and look at yourself. A lot of people have a difficult time. Look at themselves in the mirror. Look at yourself and smile. You don't have to say anything. But every day, I want everyone to go in that bathroom or a hand mirror or your phone if you want to put the camera on secretly, but look at yourself for at least 30 seconds. Just look at yourself and admire yourself. Admire the beauty within you. Because if you can look and adore yourself, somebody else will adore you. Because when you feel good about yourself, it just oozes out. So that's the first step. Just go in the mirror. Just do that for today. We'll talk some more again. But all I want you to do right now is to be able to look at yourself for 30 seconds in the mirror. And don't worry about you got to do anything fancy. Because when you do that, that's like the icing on the cake.
I'm telling you.
Go in there the way you are, wake up in the morning and appreciate who you are in every aspect. And then when you dial yourself up, then you go back and look again and say, yeah, I know.
That dialed up confidence hits different. Like,
yes,
that hits different. Like, oh my girl, look at your skin today. Look at the lip color. Look at, yes. When you look good, you feel good. And when you feel good, you look good.
Yes. And your own entire energy, when you walk out that house, matter of fact, when you look in that mirror, you kind
of, that's right.
Can't tell me nothing. And people, that's what you got to do. You got to find that type of look, that type of smile. You want to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and just smile and wink at yourself. Sound crazy, but I'm telling you, try it. 30 seconds. Any type of mirror, your camera, your bathroom mirror, but give yourself that 30 seconds of admiring your beauty, starting from the outside and working its way in. Look at it and appreciate and love it. So peace, love, everyone. Remember, self-advocate, self